The self-centered person is like a masterful actor on the stage of life. With a confident, proud demeanor, flowery words, and generous gestures, they create a perfect play that mesmerizes and draws admiration from others. But do you know that behind this dazzling mask, they are always hiding deeply rooted fears? There are weak points they never want you to know about, their Achilles heel that could bring them down. They fear being exposed, fear losing admiration, and fear facing their true selves. They are intimidated by strong, confident individuals, those who are not easily manipulated or controlled. They fear the truth and dread the negative emotions they constantly try to deny. In this video, we'll pull back the curtain and explore the 5 things that self-centered individuals fear most. Understanding these fears will give you the power to counteract their manipulative tactics, protect yourself, and pursue your own happiness. Join us on this journey to unmask the psychology of the self-centered and arm yourself with the weapons needed to win this psychological game. Number 1. They fear being exposed. Beneath the glamorous facade, a self-centered person harbors a persistent, underlying fear, the fear of being exposed. They carefully select their words and craft each action to build a perfect image, attracting admiration while concealing their inner flaws. The prospect of being unmasked is almost their darkest nightmare. It not only deprives them of the external supply that fuels their ego, but also shatters the illusion of perfection they have meticulously constructed. For covert narcissists, this fear is even more intense, as they often hide their true nature under a facade of kindness and vulnerability. Therefore, when you leave them, they turn into master dramatists, weaving distorted stories to justify your departure. They won't hesitate to blame you, casting you as unfaithful or mentally unstable to protect their image. Paradoxically, they care more about the judgment of strangers than the people who were once close and sacrificed for them. They may be indifferent to your pain, but they dread being judged by people they've never even met. So, if possible, keep records of their lies, save all messages and emails exchanged between you and them, as you might need them someday. Do you understand what I mean? However, if a narcissist deliberately cultivates an image of cruelty or ruthlessness, threatening to expose this won't have any effect. This doesn't concern them, as it doesn't harm the image they purposefully projected. Narcissists only fear having their true nature revealed, not the outward image they're striving to maintain. In this case, their biggest fear is losing control. They dread the idea that you might regain your autonomy. To see exactly what this entails, let's move on to fear number 2. Number 2. They fear your healing and recovery. I can assure you that, for a narcissistic, controlling, and ruthless individual, the thing they fear most, the most powerful weapon to get back at them, is your complete recovery. When you break free from their influence, heal your wounds, and build a new life full of happiness, that is the ultimate slap to their arrogant ego. You may be tempted to seek revenge, to make them feel the pain they inflicted on you. But trust me, drowning in hatred and resentment will only exhaust and hurt you further. It's like a double-edged sword, unable to harm others but cutting into your own hand. Your recovery is the most potent poison for the narcissist. When you're no longer dependent, no longer under their control, they'll feel an overwhelming sense of loss and helplessness. They fear abandonment, dread losing the emotional supply they've always craved. Imagine your healing as a flight out of the narcissist's gilded cage. You'll breathe in the fresh air of freedom, explore the vast world, and find your true happiness. To get back at a narcissist in the most effective way, focus on healing and improving yourself. Become aware of the pain you endured and patiently rebuild each broken piece of your soul. Learn to love yourself, establish healthy boundaries, and seek support from those who genuinely care for you. The path to recovery may be bumpy and challenging, but believe that you can make it through. And when you've transformed into a stronger, more confident version of yourself, that is the most deserving reward for you and the sweetest revenge for the narcissist. Number 3. They fear losing their supply. The third greatest fear of a narcissist is losing their emotional supply, a psychological concept but describes their relentless need for admiration, attention, and obedience from others. Research by psychologists suggests that narcissists develop a fragile ego due to experiences of rejection or lack of emotional bonding in childhood. This leads them to construct a perfect self-image and depend on others' recognition to feel valuable. For narcissists, attention and admiration from others are not just fuel for their ego, but a shield protecting them from feelings of emptiness and meaninglessness. When a narcissist possesses someone, they create a web of control to maintain the other person's dependence and absolute compliance. This is a form of psychological possession, where the controlled person gradually loses their own identity and autonomy. Studies on narcissistic relationships show that narcissists view relationships not as emotional bonds, but as ways to control, dominate, and affirm their self-image. This possession gives the narcissist a sense of power and uniqueness, as if everything revolves around their existence, making them feel secure and stable. However, when someone decides to break free from this control and regain their individuality, the narcissist feels profoundly hurt. According to the theory of narcissistic injury, when a narcissist loses their source of emotional supply, they are confronted with feelings of rejection and lack, leading to panic and a sense of emptiness. Being left alone is a severe psychological shock for a narcissist, because in their mind, it means they are no longer special or irreplaceable. Number 4. They fear losing control. A narcissist craves power, seeking to control everything around them from relationships and work to others' emotions. Anything outside their control triggers feelings of insecurity, anxiety, and even fear. This fear stems from their fragile ego and an excessive need for self-affirmation. They believe that only by wielding power can they hide their flaws and deep-seated insecurities. Losing control means facing the truth about themselves, confronting the weaknesses they constantly try to deny. Therefore, they strive to manipulate, lure, and control others. They use every tactic, from sweet words and empty promises to emotional performances full of tears, to make others dependent and follow their wishes. They fear resistance, fear being challenged, and are even more terrified of having their true nature exposed. Whenever they lose control, they react with anger, blame, or even retaliation. Even after a relationship ends, you may still feel the narcissist's lingering influence. It feels as if you're still poisoned by their words and actions. The psychological damage inflicted by a narcissist can reactivate old wounds from childhood traumas to family and relationship pain. Subtle accusations like "you're not worthy," "there's something wrong with you," or "I'm the only one who can make you happy" embed themselves in your mind, making you question and slowly believe these statements. Their influence goes beyond emotional manipulation, planting seeds of doubt and shaking your self-confidence. They make you part of their collection of controlled individuals, robbing you of your sense of autonomy and eroding your personal identity. This is why, when they lose this control, the narcissist panics, not only because they've lost someone to dominate, but also because they're forced to confront their greatest fear, having no one left to uphold their self-delusion. Number 5. They fear facing themselves. Narcissists fear confronting themselves because it forces them to acknowledge their deep-seated insecurities and flaws. Beneath their confident and arrogant exterior, they hide feelings of inferiority and wounds they cannot accept. Facing themselves would mean admitting they are not perfect, that they have made mistakes, faced failures, and that there are truths they would rather avoid. Instead of self-reflection and change, narcissists tend to shift responsibility onto others, making them the cause of every problem. Through blame and manipulation, they construct a false world where everything revolves around bolstering their fragile ego. But no matter how hard they try, the truth of who they are remains hidden inside. This is what they fear most, that one day they will be forced to confront themselves and the realities they have long tried to escape. They fear facing the dark corners of their soul, the unhealed wounds of the past, and even the deepest desires they dare not admit. Like a child afraid of the dark, they avoid the truth about themselves, fearing it will shatter the perfect image they have carefully built. They fear seeing the weakness and vulnerability behind their proud mask. They fear admitting that they too have flaws, failures, and limitations like everyone else. And above all, they fear taking responsibility for their own actions. So they choose to run, to blame others, turning them into scapegoats for their own mistakes. They create an illusionary world where they are always the victim, always justified, and always right. They live in self-deception, trying to pull those around them into this play. But no matter how far they run, the truth is always there, lurking in the shadows of their mind, waiting for a chance to resurface. And one day the narcissist will have to face themselves, confronting everything they've tried to deny. It will be a painful reckoning, but it also offers an opportunity for genuine growth and change. So, we have explored the 5 deepest fears of the narcissist, those weak points they strive to hide. Understanding these gives you powerful tools to protect yourself and escape the toxic psychological vortex they create. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There are always people ready to listen, share, and support you. Don't hesitate to seek help from family, friends, or mental health professionals when you need it. Most importantly, always believe in yourself and in your inner strength. You are fully capable of overcoming past wounds, healing old scars, and finding true happiness. Thank you for watching this video. Please share it with those you care about to help spread valuable knowledge on mental health. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our upcoming videos.